Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about Mesopotamian empires. So let's get started. So, how did Mesopotamian empires begin? Well, remember from the previous video that Sumer was a region of multiple city-states, which is with its own rulers, separate rulers, and its own separate temples. But eventually, it progressed to larger empires that were controlled by one ruler, a large area controlled by one ruler, and new rulers came into play that united many cities to do that. One of the most key empires that we normally talk about in history around this time were the Akkadian empires and the Babylonian Empire. So let's talk about the Akkadian Empire. The Akkadian Empire was founded by a person named Sargon from Akkad around 2334 BCE. It was actually the first empire, or one of first empire in history. And what Akkad did is he combined the Sumerian city states into one large empire, and it was just one ruler instead of multiple rulers ruling each city state. And even though his people did not speak the same language as the Sumerians, they adopted a lot of the Sumerian culture and spread it across Mesopotamia as they expanded. So let's talk about more about Sargon's rule and legacy. Sargon once again created a centralized government under one king rather than multiple city states with different rulers. And he created a large standing army that helped him expand his empire. And he also inspired future empires to form. Let's talk more about the Babylonian Empire. Another empire eventually rose called the Babylonian Empire, and it was founded by a person called Hammurabi around 1792 BCE. And he created Babylon to become one of the most powerful cities around that time. He is also known for a law code, a series of laws that he came about, known as Hammurabi's Law Code, which is one of our oldest legal systems, a set of laws that we know of. So let's talk more about that. The Hammurabi's Law Code is one of the earliest written law codes. It was written on stone, just like you see here. And a lot of these laws that he came about back then are still a bit relevant today. For instance, the term eye for an eye was used back then. They were literally talking about if a person took at somebody's eye, then they have to also sacrifice an eye, but it was not equal for everybody. The laws depended on the status of the individuals. It was different for slaves and priests and other important people. So, what was life like under Babylonian rule? Babylon had a strong government, it had a strong economy, and religion supported royal authority. You can see in these carvings from back then where this is the ruler or the priest king, and this is they were associated with the moon god or the sun god. And writing continued, scribes still continue to learn about cuneiform and continue to use that type of writing to keep records of things. And what are the legacies of these empires? These empires set examples for law, rule, and expansion that other empires started accumulating or being influenced by as well. They spread Sumerian culture and language throughout Mesopotamia and even beyond that, and it influenced later civilizations as well. In the next video, we're going to talk about Mesopotamia's legacy, how Mesopotamian ideas shaped future societies, science, religion, writing, and more that was associated with or began with Mesopotamia, and why exactly Mesopotamia is called the cradle of civilization. Thank you. Bye.